Okay, good evening, everyone. It's, it's raining heavily, so let's start today's lesson. Otherwise, some of you may face signal issues or something, I think.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, in the assignment, I am having a doubt. Shall I ask you regarding assignment? Regarding the assignment?
Yes.
Written assignment?
Yes.
Madam, you have there is a question to make a table of specification. We didn't study it, and we don't know how to make the table of specification. Can you give an example for that? How to do that? How to make a table of specification?
It means, first you have to take a sample. Sample means you have to take a question paper. Then,
okay.
According to cognitive domain, there is knowledge, comprehension, like that. No, there are 5 parts. So you have to divide them into 5 parts. It means, let me, please, I will show you. I will show you. It's in Sinhala medium. Then it's okay. I will show you. Still, I don't do that for you, Alyssa. But today we have a table of specification. Until then, there are several ways of making specification table or blueprint. This is one example. It means this is regarding several units. There are 4 units. Anuradhapura era, Polonnaru era, Dambadeni, Kandy era, like that. Then the aims are knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. Then here they divide it into those 5 parts. And then there are short questions and MCQ questions and 2 alternative questions. Then in short answer questions, there are 4. There are 4 means they allow only 4 short answer questions. Then 2 alternative questions also 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like that, there are 12 parts. So they decided that in Anuradhapura era, they will give only 1 short answer question and 2 alternative questions and 1 MCQ question. So this is just to get the idea how to make the questions in future. In future means for the exam. So in your assignment, you have to select a question paper in any subject. Then divide it like this, or then you can put knowledge, comprehension, application, these parts here on the top of the table. And then you can put
excuse me, madam.
yes.
If we are selecting a paper with 40 MCQs or 20 MCQs, then do we have to do for all the 20 questions? 20 MCQ questions?
20 is okay, no need 40. Just take 20.
Randomly we can take questions, or for the full paper we have to, madam? All the part 1, part 2. In the that sample book they have sent from the campus, it is only for the MCQ part they have given.
MCQs, yes, MCQs.
Yeah.
So do it for MCQs. Or sometimes it may easy than MCQs. So if it is, you can take second part. Because in second part, we can analyze what are the types like that, knowledge, comprehension. But for MCQ, sometimes it may not easy. So
okay,
that's
madam.
up to you. You
Okay,
can
we
decide
can
it.
whether the part 1 or part 2. That's okay, no, madam?
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Actually, you have to decide. You told that there are several examples for making specification tables. So you can select any type which you are convenient. There is no specific type. Today also we are discussing. We are going to discuss it.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Okay, then as a revision, in the last session, we discussed about correlation. There, we talk about the types of correlations. There are 2 types of correlations. Can anyone remember what are the types of correlations? Positive correlation, negative correlation, and
zero correlation.
Zero correlation. Yes. Then there are 2 types of finding correlations. One is scattered dot charts. Then second one is finding the correlational coefficient. So you have to remember those things because they are interrelated. Thereafter, for every session, they are interrelated. Today also, we use that. So our today's, so correlation is our 8th topic. Today we are going to do 7th topic. That is, wait. Types of assessments and evaluation. Under that, we are going to discuss about introduction to assessment and evaluation, then traditional methods of assessment and evaluation, new trends of assessment and evaluation, validity, and then validity and reliability of test scores. These are very familiar words for us. Validity, reliability, you also did in your group presentation also, but we still we didn't study them in deep and all. So the first one is introduction to assessments and evaluation. We did this. Actually, we did this in our first session. Here, some of the highlights are there. So assessment. Alan defined that as so basic one is measurement. After measurement, you can remember that measurement is a quantitative one. So from the measurement we come to the assessment. So Alan defined assessment as it involves the use of experimental data on students' learning to refine programs and improve students' learning. Then the purpose of assessment is to diagnose, monitor, direct the students' learning, and also make informed decisions, the curriculum, and some instructional methods. Then the ultimate aim of the assessment is evaluation. Then evaluate the students. So using assessments, educators can align instructions with learning goals and standards, then provide feedback and guidance to learners, then track learners' progress and achievement over time, and adjust teaching strategies. So according to the assignments, we can we can also get idea about our methodologies if we want to change it, how the students grab those things and all. Yes, we'll discuss specification table again. It's in this session also. Then, so those are the users of assessment. Then features of a good assessment. You know, those assessments should be aligned with objectives and outcomes. It means it should be aligned with the objectives, goals of the curriculum. Actually, our whole curriculum depends on the national goals and comprehension levels. Then we have to, our lesson have to align with those objectives and outcomes of particular lessons. Then all assessment should be valid and reliable. Those are the features of good assessment. Then evaluation. So evaluation, so first one is measurement, then assessment, then the last part is evaluation. The result of assessment is evaluation. So Tyler defined it as a systematic process of determining the extent to which educational objectives are achieved by pupils. And then Crumbach defined it as the collection of use of information to make decisions about an educational program. So Wheeler defined evaluation as a more general judgment of the outcome of a program which involves the use of observations, various tests, questionnaires, and interviews. So here Wheeler emphasized on the methods of evaluation. He talked about the use of observations, various tests, then questionnaires, interviews. Those are the methods of evaluation. So in education, evaluation is the process of using measurements gathered in assessments. So ultimate goal of assessment is evaluation. So in teaching learning process, educational evaluation is crucial because because of these 6 reasons. It is diagnostic. So it thorough through ongoing process, and it aids the teacher in identifying problems of the students. So diagnosis means we can identify the problems of if there are problems. So we can identify the problems of the students by diagnosing. It means by doing evaluation we can understand that. Then remedial. So in the as teachers, you can diagnose the students if there are some problems, then you can give some remedial works for them. The development of students' personality and the desired change in behavior can be achieved using teachers' help. Those are the remedial measurements. Those are the solutions for diagnostic problems. Then to make educational goals clear. So through the valid evaluation, we can alter the students' behavior. The teacher can demonstrate how learners' conduct has changed through evaluation. So the ultimate goal of learning is the permanent change of behavior. So we can take some judgments on those behavioral changes of students if we do a proper evaluation. It offers guidance. It means through the evaluation we can get understanding of the students. So with that understanding only, the teacher can guide the students for his or her future works, future plans. So that's it. Only after a thorough assessment that consider all aspects of aptitude, interest, intelligence, teachers can counsel the students. Then classification aids. It's a way for teachers to classify their pupils, whether he can do more cognitive works, he can do more performance-based works. Like that, we can classify students. Then according to our classification, we can guide them also for their future works. And also we can give them some responsibilities according to those classifications. We can give some of the leaderships for them. So those are the users. Then it is beneficial for improving learning and teaching process of the teachers. So teacher can get idea about his or her teaching method. So he can take remedial measurements. He can change his or her learning teaching methods like that. Those are they are benefit for they give benefits for the teachers also, as well as students. Then this is the comparison. There I put measurement also. When we compare measurement, assessment, and evaluation, as I told you earlier, measurement is collecting numerical data or raw data. So it means it is quantitative. So assessment is interpreting those collected data. So it is diagnostic. So evaluation is in analyzing and giving judgment to interpreted data. Then it is judgmental. So it is qualitative. Actually, it is assessment are quantitative. Evaluation is qualitative. Then measurement, most probably measurement based on cognitive domain, while assessment based on both cognitive and affective domain, and evaluation was based on all 3 domains. So we can evaluate performances of students also. Therefore, evaluation based on all 3 domains, not only 2. So measurement give valid and reliable results. So assessments can be formative or summative, and it ends up with the evaluation. So evaluation connects with educational goals. In brief, assessment is the process of gathering information about students' learning process, learning and performance. And evaluation is the process of interpreting and judgment, giving judgment about what he has been learned. So that is the introduction for assessment and evaluation. Then traditional methods of assessment and evaluation. We discussed them earlier also. Basic assessment methods. So first of all, we discussed about motor domain. So in cognitive domain, what are the types of assessments? Can anyone remember? In cognitive domain? So you can.
Tests.
Which test?
Type.
Not clear, miss.
Written tests.
Written test, yes, written test. Then the other one?
Oral test.
Yes, very good. Oral test, written test and oral test. So those are in cognitive domain. So it's here written test and oral communication. In written test also there are two types. Short answer questions and essay questions like that. Not clear, miss. Okay. Then when we go to oral test, there are formal oral test and informal oral test. In written test also, there are two parts. Then what about affective domain? What are the examples for assessments in affective domain?
Observation.
Not clear. Can't hear. Can you please tell it again? So there is a difference between affective domain and another two, cognitive and psychomotor domains. In affective domains, we discussed that we can't get the results at that moment. Therefore, we have to wait for the results. So examples for affective domain assessments. Attitude tests, observations, then personality tests, self-assessments. So these are the self-assessments, observations of students' behavior. This mentioned only two, but there are some more. In psychomotor domain, we use performance-based assessments of performance-based tests. Those are the basic assessment methods. Not traditional means not no need to go 90, 80 or 50 eras. So these are the normal methods, but these are not the new methods. So these are tradition. That is called. That is why these called basic assessment methods. So based on these assessments, we can divide different types of educational assessments like this. according to the occasion of assessment. It means what is the correct occasion to do the assessment. According to the occasion of the assessment, there are two types of assessments, formative and summative. You know about that. Formative means formative and summative. Can anyone elaborate on this? Formative, summative.
Formative assessments are done within the learning, within the process, and
Yes.
summative assessments are done at the end of a lesson or a
Yes.
unit.
Yes, very good, Rashini. Formative assessments are done at the end of the lesson. Actually, we planned it. Then summative summative at the end of the session and formative during the session. So formative can be formal or informal. We have to plan it with the lesson plan. Then, according to the way of interpretation of assessment results, there are reference assessments, norm reference assessment, criteria reference assessment, and ipsative reference assessment. Can you give examples for norm reference assessment, criterion, and ipsative? First, norm reference assessment.
O-level, A-level examinations.
O-level, A-level. Criteria.
Advanced level.
Afra, can you tell it again?
Miss criteria, advanced level.
Yes, criterion are O-level, A-level exams. Then norm reference. Ipsative. So the difference between norm reference and criteria reference means there is a standard. According to the standard, we evaluate the students. That is common for all islands. That is, so example, O-level, A-level, scholarship, those are criteria reference assessments. But I told you, someone earlier told that O-level, A-level are norm reference because of the competition. Now it can be considered as norm reference also. So the example for another example for norm reference is we can give the first in the class according to the number of students in the class, we give positions for students. Those are norm reference. That is according to the set of students in the class, we assess the students. That is called norm reference. Most probably summative assessments become this. Here we rank the students, not give grades. In norm reference assessments, we rank the students. Like first in the class, second in the class, third in the class. But in criterion reference, according to the standards, we evaluate the students by giving A, B, C gradings like that. So formative assessments can be taken as examples, but the common examples are O-level, A-level. So ipsative reference assessment.
Action research.
Sorry.
Action research like that.
Yes, Action research, no, can't take this. Ipsative reference assess. Action research is not assessment method, means. That is research method. One of the research methodology is action research. So we can't take it here. But in ipsative reference assessment also, we have to maintain reflexive journal. That's why sometimes you may answer like that. Ipsative reference assessment means we have to maintain the records of the student. According to the performance of the student's own history, we evaluate the student. Ipsative reference. Here we don't compare the students with other ones on the individual. We don't compare with others. Actually, it is very, very important assessment type, but because of the heavy burden of the curriculum and time limitations, we can't go there, because if we do it, we have to evaluate individual students individually. So actually, teachers can't do that. And also, we don't have facilities for that. That's why especially the special needs students, the teachers and the doctors also use this method. According to the individual performance of the students, the development of the students, we assess. That is ipsative reference assessment. So that is the way of interpretation of results. Then the third one, according to the nature of assessing. Formal and informal. It's easy. Formal means we have to plan it before going to the lesson. Within our lesson plan, we have to plan it. At what time we have to give this type of this assessment, and what are the includings of the assessment, like that we have to plan. Informal means without planning, at the according to the nature of the class, according to the nature of the students, we have to give this this type of assessments. Think that when you are doing the lesson, there you can notice that abnormal behavior of one student. So then you can point out that student and ask some questions. That is also type of an informal assessment.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. Yes,
And
Safra?
example for ipsative, ma'am, can we take it as a research proposal?
Research proposal. That is not ipsative reference assessment. Research proposal means you propose, I will do this type of research in future regarding this type of topic. So like that. But ipsative reference assessment means you assess performances. If you action research, yes, if you do the action research on one individual student, then we can take it as ipsative reference assessment. But action research, don't tell it as action research. It means if you, in your action research, you can take a small number of students or one student. No. So if you consider only one student, and if you want to measure the progress of that student's reading, so then you have to evaluate him or her step by step. first you have to teach him the vocabulary, then you have to do the assignments, then you have to go to copywritings like that. So all of the actions are based on that student. Then that is all that can be taken as ipsative reference assessment. But within the action research, there are ipsative reference. You have to write like that. So don't write example for ipsative reference assessment as action research. Don't write it. If you take the if you consider only one student and if you want to improve his performance individually, so you can take it as ipsative reference assessment. Understood?
Okay.
So then proposal we can't take ipsative reference. So you also you can write the proposal on action research on that type of student. But yes, proposal, don't take it.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Then different other methods. So the third one is according to the nature of assessment, formal and informal assessment and external assessment. So internal assessment, you do it with your children. Like term test, monthly test, unit test, those are internal assessment. And as teachers, you assess, you are assessed by the principals and the principals, assistant principals. So that is also an internal assessment to the teachers. Then the external assessment can be taken as, especially for teachers, sometimes zonal yes, supervision from the zonal education office, then provincial education office, then Ministry of Education. So those can be taken as external assessment methods. So at least 1 or 2 times during the year, zonal education office comes to every schools and they assess the learning teaching methodologies of the students of the school and the other audit firms like that. So those are external assessment or external evaluation methods. For regarding the students, we can take as so O-level, A-level can be taken as external assessment. So internally we don't assess O-level, A-level results. So externally from the ministry level they assess. That can be taken as external assessment. So those are the different types of educational assessments. So as teachers, I invite you to all you can, if you can do and engage with action research as teachers, it's very, very important for you to get understanding about that. So there you have to maintain the reflective journal also. Then day by day you can write the performance of the selected team or selected student. Then it's actually a very interesting one. And within short time of period, you can get good results most probably, because there you give your attention only for a small group or one or two students, then you can take them up by working on them during 1 or 2 weeks or 1 week, 1 month. That is actually very interesting field. Action research. So those are the traditional methods of assessments and evaluation. Then new trends of assessments and evaluation. These are very, very important and practicable in those days, because nowadays most of the especially private schools also do online teaching online teaching in during vacation periods also. Then these are very, very popular. You are also within these new trends of evaluation and assessments. That is why you select this type of campus for your higher education. So within the new trends, they evaluate 21st century skills. Especially they use psychometrically validated blend of interactive performance-based questions that allow students to authentically perform complex tasks in simulated applications and multiple choice knowledge-based questions. So when you consider performance-based assessment, that is not the traditional one. Performance-based assessment can be taken to evaluate 21st century students of the students. So they are tasks or projects that require students to demonstrate their 21st century skills in authentic and simulated situations. So what are the 21st century skills? What do you think about that? What are the 21st century skills? Just think. Presentation skills, then like that. You know about that. The name is the thing. 21st century skills. Like traditional ways, in traditional methods, we most probably we measure their cognitive domain. No? It means writing skills only. But in 21st century skills, writing skills are only one part. One small part. Actually, writing skills means no need to write in 21st century skills. We can type all of these things. Voice typing is there like that. So 21st century skills are presentation skills, then information and yes.
Creativity,
Yes, very good. Creativity.
collaboration,
Sorry.
collaboration,
Collaboration. Yes.
critical thinking,
Critical thinking.
Reasoning.
Reasoning. Yes, very good. So during those performance-based assessments or anything, we should have to assess the students those skills. They can range from oral presentations, portfolios and essays, simulations, sometimes some types of games, digital artifacts. So those are new trends. It allows students to show their understanding, creativity, problem solving, especially abilities in ways that traditional tests cannot. Actually, traditional tests cannot test the students' problem solving abilities, creativity, but in new trends of assessment, we can evaluate the students' abilities like that. Then they also provide rich feedback and opportunities for reflection and improvement. However, they also pose challenges such as designing valid and reliable rubrics, new words there, rubrics, scoring complex and diverse products, and ensuring fairness and equity. Within those new trends of assessment, we have to maintain the fairness, equity, reliability, validity. There we use some of the rubrics, scoring complex and diverse products. Here the word rubrics, it's very popular today. If you search, there are so many examples. You can find out so many examples about rubrics. It is a new word. Actually, it is a vocabulary, new vocabulary, new word for the vocabulary in 21st century skills. So rubrics are like a checklist. So we will discuss it in detail in next slide. So in short form, new trends of assessments are most probably they are performance-based assessment, and through those assessments we evaluate students 21st century skills, not only cognitive skills. To evaluate this, we use rubrics, and then we have to maintain those assessments, fairness, equity, then validity, reliability. So those are the features of good assessments. Then when we go to rubrics, it is an explicit set of criteria used for assessing a particular type of work or performance and provides more details than a single grade or mark. If you give performance-based assessment for a student in traditional way then we assess them and give only the marks. But rubrics are not like that. Rather than single grade or a mark, we provide them in detail how we evaluate you. Therefore, it is a set of criteria. There are a set of criteria. Then in detail there we give how we evaluate you like that. Then rubrics will help grade more objectively. They are a great tool to evaluate teamwork and individual contribution to group tasks. Rubrics facilitate peer review by setting evaluation standards. By looking at the rubrics, we can discuss about how I miss the marks, how I get the marks like that. Then students can use them for self-assessment to improve personal performance and learning. They are great for conveying timely feedback to students, reducing subjectivity, increasing objectivity, and reducing grading time. It reduces grading time because by clicking the rubrics and by there already we can give marks and it save our time. Rubrics save time. Educators can reuse those rubrics for another semesters also. So when we consider rubrics, there are two types, holistic rubrics and analytic rubrics. By the name, you can understand that in analytic rubric, we go in deep. We give step by step how we evaluate you like that. But in holistic, it is not broader like analytic, but it gives information, but it is sometimes shorter than analytic rubrics. So these are the examples. Actually, these are the examples for hotel school students. I took it from internet. Then this is the rubric, holistic rubric for breakfast in bed. Then they evaluate using the holistic rubric. The supervisor evaluate the student by giving scores like this. He give only 1 mark for most of the food is cooked poorly. The presentation is sloppy or unclean, and the recipient is uncomfortable most of the time. Customers are very uncomfortable. Then the second one, some food is cooked poorly. Some aspects of presentation are sloppy or unclean, or the recipient is uncomfortable at times, not all times. Therefore, if it is, he give 2 marks, 3 marks. Food is cooked correctly. The meal is presented in a clean and well-organized manner, and the recipient is kept comfortable throughout the meal. It's better. It's good, not better. In fourth one, it's advanced than number 3. All food is perfectly cooked. Presentation surpasses expectations, and recipient is kept exceptionally comfortable throughout the meal. If it is, he can score 4 marks. Here, there may be this type of situation also. Food is cooked correctly, but the meal is not presented in clean and well-organized manner. In holistic rubric, there is no way to evaluate the student like that manner. Food is cooked correctly, but the meal is not presented. If it is, how can we evaluate? How can we give the marks for the students? So there is no any criteria here. That's why we go to analytic rubrics here. Breakfast in bed. Analytic rubrics. This is in holistic manner. This is in analytic manner. See, here there are 3 sections for giving marks. First one is for food. Second one, presentation. Third one, comfort. Here, all 3 parts are considered as one. Food, most of the food is cooked poorly. Then the second one, presentation. Third one, comfortable of the customers. So all 3 are evaluated at once here in holistic. But in analytic, we analyze them one by one. Then in analytic rubric, we can evaluate the student if the food is cooked correctly, but the presentation is not good. If the food is cooked correctly, so we can give 3 marks or 4 marks. If the presentation is poor, so we can give 1 or 2 marks. So there are methods. So beginning level, only 1 mark, developing number 2, accomplished number 3, and exemplary number 4. It means 4 marks. For food, most food is colder and warmer than it should be. Is under or over seasoned, or is under or overcooked. If it is, we give 1 marks for food. Developing. Some food is colder or warmer, like that it goes. Then presentation. More than 1 item are dirty. But if we give now 4 marks, food is served on a clean tray with napkin and silverware. Several decorative touches are added also. Comfortable. In comfort, wake up is abrupt, little to no help with seating, and the recipient is rushed and crowded during the meal. The 4, recipient is woken gently and lovingly, assisted until seating is just right, and giving abundant time, space to eat. Hope you can understand the difference of holistic rubric and analytic rubric. These are new words, and it's better to understand those words because in new trend, these words are in new trend. Sometimes in near future, most of the assessment, like we discuss written tests, they may know longer here. Then Our fourth session, fourth part, validity of test scores. Validity of test scores. So validity is that an instrument is valid if it measured what it intends to measure. If the instrument measure what we want to measure actually. Is it measure what we want to measure? Example for a validity. Assume that a person want to give a reading test to the student to measure their literacy. But he printed the passage. He wanted to give the reading passage for the student to measure their literacy. But in order to save the papers, he printed them in very small font size. Okay. Then, if there is a student who cannot see properly the small font size, he has that disability, vision disability there for a particular student. And then he distributed all the papers and he get readings from one by one. Then can that student read the passage properly? No, because he can't read it not without having the literacy, but he can't see the small font size. So that is not a valid test. Because that test is not fair one. That is not fair test for such type of students. So such type of tests are not valid test. Valid test means that type of test should be able to measure what we want to measure without any other disturbances. So validity can be divided into several categories. First one is construct validity. Second one, criterion validity. Criterion validity can be divided into two parts again, concurrent validity and predictive validity. Then content validity and phase validity. So this flow diagram shows the connection of those validities. This is the test instrument, unknown validity is here. Then construct validity is there and content validity is there. If construct and content validity is there, we know what we want to measure. Then within the criterion validity, we can have the valid instrument. This is only a flow chart. Then let's consider one by one of these types of validities. Construct validity. Finding out to what extent the test has been made has confirmed to the theory which had served as this basis. Construct validity is more important in intelligence tests, aptitude tests, and personality tests. In construct validity, we have to use the theory. So then our tests have to obey that theory. If it is, we can say that it is a construct, that test has the construct validity. Remember that in construct validity, we consider about the theory. This is the example. In an intelligence test, the test papers has to be constructed based on the accepted intelligence theories. Thurston's intelligence theory based on 7 factors is one of the accepted theories by psychologists. It is possible to explain ideas about the construct validity findings that tests have made on the basis of accepted intelligence theories. So according to the intelligence theories, we have to construct our questions. If it is, then there is a construct validity. Likewise, if we want to measure construct validity, there we have to consider the theory. And our instrument should be regarding the theory, regarding that theory, obey that theory. That is construct validity. Then the second one is criterion validity. Criteria. According to the criteria, we have to measure the validity. Criterion validity refers the correlation between test and the criterion that is already accepted as a valid measure of the goal or question. If a test is highly correlated with another valid criterion, it is more likely that the test is also valid. There is criteria. If the marks are higher than this, we give A for if the marks are higher than 75, then we give A, capital A mark, like that. There is a criteria. So criterion validity tends to measure through statistical computations like correlation coefficients. Sometimes we have to measure correlation coefficients to measure the criterion validity. There are two types of criterion validity, concurrent and predictive validity. Sometimes in our test, we use to measure the students' prevailing quality. At that moment, we use concurrent validity. Sometimes we measure the students' future skill or something. That is called predictive validity. Within the example, you can understand that. So concurrent validity is when to what extent is the test that is subjected to standardization agrees with other contemporary tests. Concurrent validity is a research-based inquiry. It means we prepare a science test for grade 11 students, obtain the marks of students by holding the science test, compare the marks obtained their ordinary level examination using statistical method. Yes, it is the prevailing condition. So we prepare a science test for grade 11 students, and then we examine those those papers, and we give marks for the students. Regarding that marks, we compare their ordinary level results using statistical method. So that is called concurrent validity. That is the past one. It means now, assume that now the students are after O-level. Yes, the students are after O-levels and they obtain their, so yes, they got their grades. Then if you take the group of students and then using their science test marks, we get their science test marks, then we get their results for science from O-level. Then we compare. By calculating the correlation coefficient between those two, then we can say that there is, if the correlation coefficient is near 1, we can say that there is a concurrent validity. It means currently the student have that ability. Presently they have that ability. That is concurrent validity. In predictive validity, to what extent the test is capable of predicting whether individuals are suitable and competent to perform a certain task in future. If it is expected to select competent students in grade 5 scholarship examination, compare the marks obtained by the students after appearing to the test held in grade 6 or 7 for having predictive validity. This comparison should be done by expressing the correlation coefficient of the relationship between grade 5 marks and grade 6 or 7 marks. If there is a positive relationship, it is concluded that grade 5 test is a test having predictive validity. It means we can say that if the student is passed the scholarship examination, then we can say that this student will perform in future, will perform in maths, science, and other subjects very well in future. So that is our prediction. Okay. Now, presently, the students, presently, if we take 5 students, all 5 students are passed the scholarship examination. By looking at their marks for scholarship examination, we can predict that these students are passed the examination, scholarship examination. Then they will do better in their learning side in future. That is our prediction. So we can check after they pass their grade 6 and grade 7, then we can compare their scholarship marks and take grade 6 only. Grade 6 marks, we can by comparing grade 5 scholarship marks and grade 6 term test marks, and calculate the correlational coefficient. If it is positive correlation, then we can say that the students who pass the scholarship examination will perform better in future. Actually, we know that there is no relationship in grade 5 scholarship and grade 6, 7 and O-level performances. But we can check it using correlation coefficient, that is predictive validity. Currently, the students are only in grade 5 and they just get their results. Then we predict their performances. After they pass grade 6, grade 6 third term test, then we can compare in future. That is called predictive validity. But in concurrent, we compare the present marks only. The presently, that quality is within the students. But in predictive, presently, that quality is not. We don't know if it is there or not. That is called predictive validity. So these are the two parts of criterion validity based on criteria. Then third one, content validity. So with the name, you can understand content. So our test should, the contents of the test should measure here. Constructing the test so as to enable subject content in the syllabus to be measured in accordance with the educational objectives. It is difficult to prepare a test paper including all subject matters. At that point, if the test paper is constructed representing important subject matters and including important facts relevant to each topic, it is secure the content validity of the test. To measure the content validity of the test, we have to use the table of specification or the blueprint. it is possible for the test marker to secure the content validity of a test. Therefore, a table of specification is used to assess the content validity of a test. Now we are in the table of specification. We use table of specification to measure the content validity. Content. For example, a standardized assessment in 9th grade biology is content valid if it covers all topics taught in grade 9 biology course. If it has the content validity, it should cover all the topics in grade 9 biology course. That is the example. So this is the table of specification with example. I took this from science, yes. Table of specification for grade 7 science. This is from Cambridge syllabus, but you can get the idea. Actually, within the specification table, we can only measure the students' cognitive domains. That is why it is here cognitive domain. Then distribution of questions. Questions are distributed among those 5 parts of cognitive domain. Knowledge, understand, knowledge means remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. Then learning competencies. You can take learning competencies from your teacher guide book. There are learning competencies. These are there. Then the number of allocated hours. Here hours, number of allocated periods. Also you can get from the teacher's guide. Then you can calculate the time allocated time percentage. So for the total lesson, there is another part also here. Total lesson, there are 31 periods or 31, according to this, there are 31 hours. So you can take the percentage of, as example, so 12th competency, there are 2 hours or 2 periods. Assume that 2 periods from 31, 2 periods is 6.5%. It means 2 divided by 31 into 100. Then you can get 6.5%. Like that, you can calculate the time allocated percentage. No need to do this column in your specification table. That is no need. Number of hours is also not necessary for your assignment, because you are asked to analyze the test paper. No? When analyzing test paper, you can't put a number of hours like that. So this is so in the assignment, I told you to make the table of specification for the prepared paper. No? But here, this table of specification is to prepare the paper. Understood? This is to prepare the paper, guideline to prepare the paper. But in opposite way, you have to, in your assignment, you are asked to take the question paper and then analyze whether this question comes under apply, analyze, or understand part. If it is, you have to put tick mark in understand. So this specification is to prepare the paper. Then before preparing the paper, we have to consider the number of periods, the number of, yes, percentage is also okay. So according to the number of periods, we have to allocate the number of questions. See, there are 6 periods for 1 and 2 competencies. Therefore, we have to allocate 19% questions from the total paper from 1 and 2 competencies. Understood? Then the number of points is also 6. Then in competency 3, describe the different levels of biological organization from cell to biosphere. There number of allocated hours are 2. Then 6.5% question should be represented here. Therefore, understand side, they put only 1 question, and analyze part 1 question, and evaluate part 1 question. Then understand part, 1 question is the 3rd question. Analyze part, that is 30th question. In evaluate part, 11th question. So it means in our, assume that it is the MCQ paper. So then the 11th question of MCQ paper is to measure the evaluation ability of the student. Understood? So the 26th question, 26th MCQ of the paper will measure the student's analysis ability. So they are going to give 2 questions from apply part. 2 questions. That is question number 10 and question number 12, like that. Hope you can understand that. So please understand clearly, this specification table is to prepare the question paper. Actually, if you want to prepare the valid question paper, you have to maintain the specification table like this. But in practically, we don't maintain this type of specification tables. But if you can, it is better. But in national level examinations, actually, they have to use this type of specification tables, because in national level examinations, all the syllabus should be covered within the questions. And that should be weighted according to the number of allocated periods. Therefore, definitely you have to consider the number of periods and number of allocated time. No need, number of allocated periods is only. And then competencies levels, what is the lesson there, like that. You have to consider all those things. This is the best example to prepare the specification table to the paper. So it is very big one actually, the specification table. Therefore, it is easy if you make the separate specification tables for MCQs one, then the structured one, for separate one, like that. It is very clear.
Madam, if we take a part 2 question paper, that is enough, no?
Yes, actually that's enough. If you take MCQ part, it is it might complex, I think.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes.
Madam, do we need to write both the competency and the lesson name, or is one enough for the assignment, madam?
No, no need to write the lesson name or competency. Just put
Okay.
question number 1 and if you want, type first part of the question. Assume that the question is the capital of Sri Lanka. You have to, if it is the MCQ, the capital of Sri Lanka. Then put number 1 in here. Put number 1 and the capital of Sri Lanka, or the capital and ... Then it comes under remember or knowledge part. Then put tick here only. If the second question is put number 2 and write the part. I can't remember the questions at this moment, but then put number 2 and write only the small part of the question if you want. If you can't, it's okay. Just put number clearly, only number clearly. If there are subparts, put those numbers clearly. Then just tick the domain, the part of the domain. That's all. No need to write the total number of points here. If you can write the points, it's okay. If you can't, it's no need. I want only you to understand by looking at the question. You have to have the understanding of which part of the cognitive is here, like that. That is why I want to check only that.
Okay, madam. Thank you. And we have to submit the copies of the paper, no, madam? Photos of the paper.
Yes.
That.
Yes. Otherwise,
madam.
I don't know. No?
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Okay. So there in your assignment, you have to analyze the question paper. Here, they are going to make a question paper. This is a good example for making this question paper, because they put the question numbers also here. Question number 10, 12. So total number of questions are 2 for applied part. So here in remember part, yes, in remember, in this small box, they indicate the marks, I think. So in remember number 2, question number 2, put 1 mark. Then apply, there are 2 questions, 2 marks. In analyze, 1 question, 1 mark. In evaluate, 1 question, 2 marks. So altogether, 2 plus 1, 3, plus 2, 5, plus 1, 6. 6 marks here. No need to put the marks here. It's not necessary. But this is one of the ways of making specification table. This is the latter part of it. Then the 4th one. Understood. Then are there any questions regarding specification table? Okay, we are at the types of, talking about the types of validity. Then the 3rd one is content validity. For the content validity, we have to use specification table or blueprint. Then the 4th validity is face validity. That is very important, but not, we can't take statistically. This is not very fair one, but face validity. That, it is the, 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 it It is considered as the weakest measure of validation, but it is way to ensure the research is aligned. The process of phase validation allows the testing being conducted to be verified that all questions associated with the test are related to the topic being tested. All the questions, we have to check whether all the questions are related to the topic. And also, phase validity is the ability to read easily. The ability to read easily, it means font size and the font type, letters, those should be read easily, and the words without printing mistakes, and keeping required space to write the answers. Assume that it is the structured paper. So you are asked to write 3 points. Then definitely you have to leave 3 spaces there, 3 lines there. If you ask 3 points and if you give only 2 lines to answer, that is not, such type of paper has not a valid phase validity. Therefore, we have to keep required space to write the answers, then not divide the question for 2 pages. It means assume that the at the bottom part of the paper, we write the question. For the MCQ, we write the question and the alternative answers are in the next page. So that is not good. So at that time, we have to adjust the questions and take the question into the new page. So don't divide the question and the alternatives for 2 pages. So those are the methods of measuring phase validity. Phase validity means the paper should be without the printing mistakes, the words should be read easily, the font size, font type, and the spacing. And the always we have to try to not divide the question for 2 pages. So that is phase validity. That is the basic one. Then the last topic, reliability of test scores. Reliability is the consistency. We discussed it earlier. And also you did it. Consistency of results even if they measure several times. We measure several times. And if we measure the same test in several times, there should be the consistency of the results. If it is, we call it there is a reliability. The most basic interpretation is we can use test retest reliability. So those are the types. That is to say, if a group of students take a test twice, both results for individual students as well as the relationship among students' results should be similar. So retesting can be done in several methods. Those are measure the same variable in several times using same instrument. Means we give same question paper for same set of students, but 2 times. It means today we give the question paper for the set of students. Then we may mark it. Then after 2 or 3 weeks, again, we give the same question paper for the same students. And then we measure the correlation. That is, the measure the same variable in several times using same instrument. Then the second one, measure same variable using several instruments. It means we give 2 papers. We make 2 papers and give 2 papers for the same set of students. That is that. Then the third one, measure the same variable by several testers. So then we give the assessment or question paper to the set of students, and then we give them to mark for two examiners. Two examiners. Same question papers are given to two examiners to mark, and then we get the results and measure the correlation. We'll discuss it now. Then most educational decisions are taken by keeping the reliability. Most of the decisions are taken by keeping the reliability, even if it measures several times. As example, as in newly recruited SLES officers or SLTES officers, the government provide them some foreign training for them by spending so many money. There, the government expect that if we give them training, then their standard may be increased rather than from the present level. That is their reliability. By keeping that reliability, they spend money. Sometimes most of the people may get benefit of that, but few may lose that. Means few may misuse that opportunity. But there is that reliability. We can keep them up by giving this type of training. That is it. It means most of the educational decisions are taken by keeping that reliability. The techniques of assuring the reliability are test-retest method, parallel form method, iterator reliability method, and internal consistency method. Test-retest method. With the name, you can understand test-retest. As I told you earlier, now test-retest. Same test is given 2 times for the same set of students. Then parallel form, parallel 2 tests are made and given to same set of students. Then iterator reliability, same question papers are marked by 2 examiners. Then internal consistency, that is a separate one. We have to calculate it. Internal consistency means internal reliability should be there. So the test-retest method, now you know about that, measures the stability of the scores of a table construct obtained from the same person on 2 or more separate occasions. Same set of questions are given several occasions. Reliability concerns the degree to which the scores can be distinguished. To do that, we can calculate correlation coefficient. So commonly, we use Spearman's rank correlation coefficient, which we discussed last day. So Spearman's correlation coefficient can be written as R equal 1 minus 6 sigma d squared n into n squared minus 1. So this is the example. There are 5 students and marks obtained by first attempt is this. Then marks obtained by second attempt is this. So then Rx is we have to rank them. So rank, we rank them descending order. So the number 1 goes to 70 here. Number 2 goes to 67. Like that we rank. Then we rank white marks also. Then take the difference of ranks and square of ranks. Then we can take the summation of that and put it into this equation. Then you can calculate the correlation. If the correlation coefficient is near 1, then we can say that that method is stability. So at that moment, this coefficient is called stability coefficient. So then the second method is parallel form method. In statistics, parallel forms reliability means the correlation between two equivalent forms of a test. The process for calculating parallel forms reliability is as follows. It's not hard one. Randomly, it means before all, we have to make a large set of questions. Means 50 or 100 questions. Then we divide it into two parts, odd numbers and even numbers, like that. See, this is the whole question paper. Then we divide it into two parts, odd numbers and even numbers. Now we divide the same test paper into two parts, test A and test B, parallel form method. Now two parallel tests are here. We made two parallel tests using single test. Then the step 2 is, this is called split a test in half. Test එක, we have to split a test in half. Divide. Then administer the first half to all students, then administer the second half to all students. It means we have to select at least 20 or 5 or 10 or any number of students. So take the selected students and give test A. Then again give test B to the same set of students. Then calculate the correlation of those test scores. That is called parallel form reliability. I think it's clear. Means the two test papers with similar hardness are given to same set of students and calculate the correlation coefficient. So that is parallel form method. So our third one is inter-rater reliability. Observers. Inter-rater reliability is a context to which two or more raters, observers, coders, or examiners agree. It addresses the issue of consistency of the implementation of a rating system. Inter-rater reliability can be evaluated by using a number of different statistics. In statistics, inter-rater reliability is the degree of agreement among independent observers. Assessment tools that rely on rating must exhibit good inter-rater reliability, otherwise they are not valid tests. So I took this from the internet. I want to tell you the example for inter-rater reliability. See, medical diagnosis. When different doctors independently diagnose a patient and with the same condition, after examining the same symptoms, they can suggest some medicine. So that is at that time, it suggests high inter-rater reliability. Different doctors independently observe the patient under the same conditions. Then second one, grading essays. Grading essays is very tough one because it may differ from examiner to examiner. Here, if multiple teachers give similar grades to an essay using rubric, analytic rubric or holistic rubric, it demonstrates high inter-rater reliability in their grading criteria. That is called inter-rater reliability. Then we can use Spearman's rank correlation coefficient. This is the example which I took from last presentation. We discussed this and we discussed how to calculate the Spearman's rank coefficient here. For your reference, I took the same example here. Marks from the first examiner, marks from the second examiner here. Then we rank them and take the difference of ranks and then the square. Then we can. Here, the answer is 0.98. So, it is near to 1. So, it means there is the consistency or reliability between reliability of the marks given by 2 examiners. That is our conclusion for this example. Then, the last one is internal consistency method. The consistency of people's response across an item on a multiple item measure, that is called internal consistency. In general, all the items on such measures are supposed to reflect the same underlying construct. So people's score on those items should be correlated with each other. It means all our test items should commonly represent the same feature. If it is, we call internal consistency. If people's responses to the different items are not correlated with each other, if the responses are different, then there is no internal consistency. That is as true for behavioral and psychological measures as for self-report measures. We use this for behavioral and psychological measures. For example, people might make series of bets in simulated game, and this measure would be internally consistent to the extent that individual participants' bets were consistently high or low across trials. You can understand it using this example. See, next one. To measure the internal consistency, we have to collect and analyze data. It means if we want to measure the internal consistency of the test paper, we have to consider their feature, the test features of the test paper as whole, not only one part. On all questions should represent that feature, that is called internal consistency. We use Cronbach alpha method to measure the internal consistency of the test scores. Actually, this is used in psychology. Conceptually, alpha is the mean of all possible split half correlations. We discussed about split half correlations, that involves splitting the items in two sets, such as first and second halves of the items on them. It is like this. Split half correlation. We split the, yes, this one. We split the one paper into two parts, odd and even like that. That is called split half reliability or correlation. Note that this is not how alpha is actually computed, but it is correct way of, yes, that is from the example. If when we calculate Cronbach alpha and we get nearly one answer, nearly one, so we can say that the generally it has the good internal consistency. Yes, Senadira asked that what is the deadline? According to my assignment, that is 3rd of May. I don't know whether what is the limit of LMS. If it is 19 days remaining, I don't think so. So please contact coordinator and ask better. That's better. Ask him. I thought that it is 3rd of May. So please confirm it from a coordinator. I don't know about 19 days. It's too much. I don't think so. So clear it with him. I don't know. I gave them 3rd of May. So this is the I will give you the example to calculate Cronbach alpha. This is Cronbach alpha equation. That is to a complex one, so no need to go in deep. Just this is just for your knowledge. N over n minus 1. SD means standard deviation. This is sigma standard deviation square, like that. Here in Cronbach alpha equation, n is number of questions. But when you calculate standard deviation, there n is number of students. So you can understand it from the example. They took 8 questions and marks from 10 students. This is student A took 5 marks for question number 1. Student B took 2 marks for question number 2. Like that. This is sometimes this may be an essay question. So D. Student D took 2 marks for second question. He took 3 marks for fourth question, like that. Then in the next column, they square that value. 5 square, 25. 2 square, 4, like that. Then they took all addition of all parts there. This is the addition of x part. This is the addition of x squared. Because to calculate Cronbach alpha, we need SD squares, SI squares, SDI squares, SD squares. So that is why we get total summation of those things. Then SD square, you are given the equation for SD square, sigma x squared divided by n minus like this. Then sigma x squared sigma 5878 divided by n. N is here number of students. 10 students are there no, for standard deviation. Minus sigma x is 230 divided by 10 square. So by calculating this, you can obtain 58.8. SDI individually, 105 means, yes, SDI squared is sigma xi squared divided by n minus sigma xi divided by n squared. Here, SDI means first we consider SD1. That is SD1 means SD square 105 divided by 10 divided by 29 over 10 square. That is 2.09. Like that, we have to take number 2, SD2 here. That is 108 divided by 10 minus 30 divided by 10 square. By calculating all of 8 items and get the addition of that, we can obtain 11.52. So just look at this, how to calculate, and no need to go deep. Then we can substitute this value. So they obtain 0.92. So that is more reliable one. Internal consistency is high. So then, so the value is 0.98. So we can say that internal consistency is high there. So that is the way of calculating Cronbranch alpha. So that is to calculate the internal consistency of the test. Internal consistency. Internally, all the test items should consist all together. That is the idea of that. To measure the internal consistency, we use Cronbranch alpha. No need to memorize the equation and all. Just keep it in for your knowledge. Remember that we use Cronbranch alpha. We calculate Cronbranch alpha to measure the internal consistency of the test. That's on. Okay, then the last one, factors that affect reliability. Imperfect testing. Imperfect testing means the face validity of the test may out. Then the stability of extraneous influences such as students' mood, students' healthy, students' mood, like that. Then uncontrollable changes in external factors like environmental factors. Then last, errors in measuring instruments such as imperfect testing. There may be some difficulties in environment. So those are the factors that affect the reliability. Then we can develop the reliability of the test by using objective type questions rather than true or false or multiple questions. We can use objective type. Then we can use the selection type questions. Then using structured essay type questions instead of essay type. Instead of essay type, we can use structured essay. Then reliability is high for, reliability is high for MCQs. So we can use MCQs, yes or no questions to improve the reliability. Then we can use structured essays rather than essay type. Then preparing a detailed marking scheme to evaluate the answer script. Marking question by question without marking the answer script at once. First, we have to mark, it means pilot. We have to do a pilot marking before marking the answer script. Then involving experienced examiners, we have to use experienced examiners. Then provide opportunity to mark papers with an attractive environment. That also affects. So those are the methods of improving the reliability. So the consistency of marks, this is a simple example. Total consistency means here all 5 students took same marks for all 5 questions. B takes 0 for all 5 questions. C takes same marks. Like that is called total consistency. Here in the second one, A took 1 and 2 marks. B took 0, 1. So nearly consistent. That is called high consistency. Then the third one, there is no consistency here. Lowest mark is there, highest mark is there. So that is called low consistency. If the consistency is there, we call reliability is also there. Then the validity versus reliability. In short, validity is there. Please mute your mic. If the validity is there, we can say that reliability is there. But if the reliability is there, we can't say that validity is there. So using this Venn diagram, you can understand that. So these diagrams show the reliability and validity. Here, reliability means the marks of the all questions are near together, like that. So this type of instances, we can say that the reliability is there, but validity is not there because the mark is here. The validated mark is here, but the marks are out of that, but all the marks are there. That is, the reliability is there, but the validity is not there. Like government competency exams. No validity, but reliability is there. Then here reliability is low. It means marks are deviated, but they are around the expected marks. So they are therefore we can't say that not validity, but there is validity. It is low validity and low reliability, like personalized test. Then here the marks reliability is also low. Validity is not there because the center mark is here, that is away from that. Both are not here, like MCQ question paper. Here, you can say the required mark is here. The all marks are around that. Therefore, validity and reliability is there. So using this diagram, you can understand the combination between reliability and validity. So, okay, that's all I want to talk with you today. Start time out. Then if you have any questions, you can ask. So please go through those things. Those all are interrelated with future sessions. So next day we will discuss about basic statistics. If you don't have any questions, let's wind up the session. Okay, then good night and thank you very much.
Good night, madam. Thank you.
Good night, madam. Thank you.
Good night, madam.
Good night, madam. Thank you.